Hello, welcome to my studio. Today we are going to be doing a large painting. This is the canvas. I actually already finished the painting, but I didn't want to spoil it at the beginning. It's been a while since I've done like a bigger art project because I was pregnant with twins, but life is kind of back to normal now. The twins are 2 months old and I'm getting back into art. And it feels so good. I am so happy, so inspired. So with that being said, I invite you to paint with me, or you can draw or just, hang out. We'll do art together and just be creative. Oh yeah, I also want to say limited edition prints of this piece will be available at mirabyler.com. So if you like what you see and you want to snag a print for yourself, you can click my shop link in the description. Yeah, I always forget to mention that I usually launch prints of my artwork, so I'm trying to remember. Let's start this painting. I'm really excited to talk about this with you. And actually, you know what? First of all, let me just address something. When I do painting videos like this, sometimes I debate, should I talk more about the process or the story behind the piece? And I never really know what direction to take when I talk about these. So I'm going to do a little bit of both today, and we're just going to roll with it and just have a nice little chit chat. So you can see here that I did a little thin layer of burnt sienna, and now I'm kind of blocking in shapes. It's probably hard to tell what is going on right now, but I had to do this for my own comfort because I am painting something that, I've never really painted something like this before, and that was intimidating. So the underpainting was very important to me. So let me tell you a little story about how I chose this painting idea, I guess. So it's a sunset and I'm actually on the highway. So there's going to be cars and stuff going down a road in front of us toward the sunset. I took this photo probably 3 years ago and I told myself one day I am going to paint this. So now it's 3 years later and I'm finally painting it. I was too intimidated to paint this picture for the longest time because there were cars in the photo and there was a road. But, I live in Columbus, Ohio, and we were driving to Plain City, and Plain City just always has beautiful sunsets. And that's where I took this picture, was driving out there. I just kind of always look at this photo every time I go to make a painting and I'm like, is this the day I'm gonna do it? And then I'm always like, no. So it feels good to finally tackle a goal that I've kind of had in my mind and just do something that intimidates me, wade through the awkward stage and see what happens. So I want to tuck a little bit of encouragement for you into this video as well, because I'm talking slightly about my process and slightly about the story. But something that is really important when I make videos is that I want to encourage you folks to have a creative outlet. Art doesn't have to be this stressful thing that's a lot of work. Sometimes people tell me, oh, don't stress yourself out creating. And I feel like art is the opposite. It is a thing to decompress. And I really hope that you folks can feel that way too. I think when we have awkward stages when we're creating, it's a really good learning experience because, it always feels cringy and just kind of gross when you're not happy with your piece and maybe I should give up. But I think pushing through really helps us to evolve as artists and to continue learning, what colors look good together. Is this proportional? Do I like this style, or should I try something different? Should I go in a different direction? You can really learn a lot about yourself as an artist when you wade through those awkward stages of paintings. And another thing is, say you mess up. Say your artwork is not perfect and you're not happy with it, and you have to fix it. Well, you know what? Good for you. I'm going to give you a pat on the back for that, because if you notice that you messed up, or you noticed that something looks off and you need to fix it, it means you're getting really good at critiquing yourself. And you know that you have the opportunity to pivot and fix your work. And I just think that's a beautiful thing when we can recognize that in our own work. It's really nice too when people point it out, but I think it's really special when we ourselves can notice something is off. So anyway, if you ever mess up and you're feeling really down on yourself, have a little reminder that you are learning and you are growing in that experience. So something really fun that I did with this piece was really thin layers in the sky. You can actually see the burnt sienna shining through the clouds. And I feel like it added so much warmth to this piece. And I'm really happy with how that part of the painting turned out, especially because the whole bottom half of the painting is really dark. And I feel like that warmth kind of translated onto the road too. So that was really cool. It was hard to do the cars. It was hard to do the little lines on the road, but I did it, and that was intimidating. And even the silhouettes of the trees, it made me doubt myself a little bit as an artist, but I'm telling you that because it was a growing experience, and it was really good for me to go through stages of doubt and just navigate painting something I've never painted before. And I'm really glad I did it. And I feel like this entire painting experience has made me braver for conquering other paintings in the future. It's really not so bad when we just dive into something and do something we've never done. With these streetlights here, I'm going to talk more about them at the end of the video, but I incorporated some impressionism with the little lights shining, and that was so fun, just merging impressionism into the style of this piece. Also, for these street lines, the lines on the road, there were times when I sat on the floor to stabilize my hand because I was so afraid of messing up. And I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny that I did that, but it actually was really helpful. Alrighty, let's get these brushes and paint the edges now. I'm gonna mix up a really warm pink color to match the clouds and brighten up the sides of this canvas. Yay, we finished the piece. This is how it looks. I'm really happy with how it turned out. There were a couple stylistic things I wanted to do to kind of make this feel loose and whimsical. So a couple things, it's hard to see, but the underpainting does show through, the burnt sienna. I did that in a couple areas because I've been kind of wanting to experiment with that a little bit more. Another thing, I wanted to include a little bit of an impressionistic vibe. So the lights, kind of impressionistic. Now the whimsy, where does that come in? I kind of leaned the telephone poles. And the reason why I actually did that is because when I took this photo, my lens actually did that a little bit. So I really leaned into it and was like, let's just see how it feels. It kind of does make me feel like I'm in a car on the road, like looking up at these poles. I've never really painted cars before, so that part was intimidating, but honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I really enjoyed the process of this piece. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you want a limited edition print, you can go to mirabyler.com, as I said at the beginning of the video, but I'm really excited to do more paintings like this with you. I did just get a bunch of canvases, which you probably saw in my recent art haul video, but yeah, I will see you when I see you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.